Hey guys, welcome in. Welcome into the Sportscast. Your host, Brian, Craig, and Jeff here, guys. It has been way too long, and I'm super excited to be back on with you guys talking some sports.
Howdy.
Jeff, I think your mic's muted, buddy.
It's good to be back, I said.
It is too good to be back. I'm excited. Football season is right around the corner. I think college football officially started today. No, big games. It's just a bunch of nobodies, but we're getting there. I think next week's the last preseason week, and then we start on into the regular season. So super excited. This episode, we're going to do AFC predictions. We're going to go through the AFC, go through each team, kind of give you our divisional breakdowns, who we think is going to win the division. And then next week, we'll do the NFC, and then we'll get ready for a regular scheduled programming. But I am so glad to be back on, guys, and it is that time of year. That's the best time of year, football season, and nothing else matters, baby. Can't schedule things on Saturdays. Can't schedule things on Sundays as we get into it. I went ahead and I bought the hey, Derpy. What's up, man? Derpy's back. Howdy. How's it going, man? Good to have you back, Derpy. Thanks for jumping in, man. I bought the NFL package this year, so I haven't done that in a while, or it's been a long time since I've done it. They were running a deal. It was only $190 to $5, and I was like, that's a pretty good deal, so I'll take it. So getting ready for that. But anyways, before I talk too much, let's start off with the AFC East. And I got this cool little magnetic standings board here where I'm going to be going through and maybe updating throughout the year as well. But the AFC East, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I don't think it changes much from last year on who's going to win it. The Bills are 13-4 last year. They had a great season. They didn't go to the Super Bowl. They couldn't get past that hump. But I don't think anybody else stands in the way in this division of the Bills.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Miami, I thought Miami was going to make a run a couple years ago. You got Tua's health that has been up and down. You have Tyreek Hill, who has kind of fallen off a little bit. They really can't stay healthy. I don't think anybody really gets in the way. I think that's Buffalo's division to lose. I have Buffalo and then everybody else underneath them.
Yeah, and the Buffalo Bills, I don't think they really did anything to get much different this season. And a lot of times when that happens and teams stay the same, you get passed up on, right? They go out, they add Joey Bosa, which, okay, he's decent if he's healthy, but the biggest problem with him is if he's healthy. They added to the pass rush there. They didn't really change a whole lot. That says a lot about this division. There's not a lot of teams there that, like you said, Miami. We thought Miami is going to be this great team, and all in this whole season is all again going to come down to, for the Miami Dolphins, is Tua Tagovailoa going to be healthy, right? They were 8-9 last year. They were second place. That's better than I thought. I thought maybe they did a little worse than that. They haven't won the division in 16 years, and their main wide receiver is unhappy. There's been a lot of talks about him wanting to leave. So, I think, honestly, with the head coach there, Craig, I think this is kind of his do or die season. This is kind of it.
I kind of thought maybe he lost the team last year, but it looks like they gave him another year. So, but absolutely, I think if they don't have some at least improved success, I think he goes after this season.
Derpy says Bills are going to win it again. I'd say Patriots second, Dolphins, and then the Jets. And Derpy, we're we're that's exactly how I'll have them. I have Bills, Patriots, Miami, Jets, and let's talk a little bit more about that. I think the Jets are interesting. They go out and they get the new coach Eric Glenn from Detroit, defensive minded coach, defensive coordinator over there. They use the first round pick. They go out and they bolster up that offensive line, but they have Justin Fields, and I don't think he's good. I think you're going to have all this change. You're going to have the same old Jets. They're relying on a quarterback that's not good. Maybe they'll be a little better, but I don't think much is going to change there for the Jets, the Jets, Jets. I do think the Patriots will be better. The Patriots were 4-13 last year. They go out and they get head coach Mike Vrabel, which I think is going to be a game changer for them. I really like Vrabel. They go out and they get Stephon Diggs, who is kind of on the tiptoe end of his career, but maybe he adds a little flash there. And another year of Drake May. And so I think the Patriots will be better. I think they're going to have a really good year this year. Not good enough to win the division, but Jeff, what do you say? Do you think the Patriots? Do you think the Jets are going to shock us? Do anything? Do you think how the Patriots might be this year?
The Patriots are kind of interesting. I want to see kind of the direction of this team, and maybe where they're headed. I think it's kind of a mystery as to what they, with Drake May and, what is he capable of, this year. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm kind of curious about their defense, even though they didn't really they didn't really look too great the other night, but yeah, I don't know. They're so far removed from the glory days. And trying to get back to that, I think, is kind of an uphill battle. So I don't have much to say about the Patriots, but I kind of do want to see maybe if their answer is Drake May. We'll have to find out. I will say I did with the Jets. Talk about just constantly just never finding a way to get out of their own way. And the Aaron Rodgers situation was just disaster. And it's just, I feel bad for the fan base, and I think with the Patriots, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think they could surprise some people, but it can kind of seem one of those teams where they, people go in thinking they might just take them down and it might be easy, but I don't know. I mean, it seems like they may be one of those scrappy little teams, but I'm more interested in Drake May. I want to see.
Yeah, I think a lot's riding on his shoulder. He has a good arm. He seems to be able to make a lot of throws. It's just, where we go from here.
Can you build a franchise off Drake May? I think it's the question.
And Vrabel's more of a defensive-minded coach. Mayo was the coach there for 1 year. They get rid of him, but he's actually stayed behind, I believe, to be the linebackers coach from what I hear. So that's kind of interesting for him to still be there. Usually when they move on, they move on. And Craig, where do you have this division? If you had to put them 1 through 4, we're going to put them all these divisions 1 through 4. Where do you got them?
I think I have it just how you have it. I mean, I think the Patriots are better than the Dolphins, and I think the Jets are bringing up the end of it. I think they're at least a couple years away before they're in the mix, unless Miami just really catches fire. I think Drake May had some bright spots last year and has now you're always concerned with the sophomore slump. It CJ Stroud. It has gotten some of these guys. We're gonna have to see if the guys that the Caleb Williams and the Jaden Daniels and all that see if any of them fall victim to this. But May has looked good in the preseason, and he's looked good at the end of the year last year in his limited deal. So I think they have enough, but I don't think they have enough for the Bills. So I think it's the Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, and Jets.
All right, Jeff, where do you got him at?
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with this division as well. I just I think Drake May will be better this year. Now with his second year and just trying to get more experience. And I do like I like the eye set of a defensive minded team. So it's just I think I don't know. I'm going with what Craig was talking about. I just don't think I kind of worry about the Dolphins also.
Yeah, when you have to rely on your quarterback's health, it's just not a good thing. And when Tua has been healthy, he's been decent. But
Tua's been, when healthy, he's good. And
what's up, Carissa, Carlin? Thanks for jumping on. I'm good. How are you? Derpy making some bold predictions. Trayvon Henderson, rookie of the year. He said, book it. Running back there for the Patriots. So we shall see. He also says, and I do agree with this, the Bills window, this is their final year. And it's kind of interesting because the Bills have been good, right? They've been good. They've been in it every year. They've fought for the playoffs. They won their division most of the time for the last 5-6 years, whatever. They're in it. But when it comes to a point where the organization has to make those difficult choices, where, hey, this is as far as we're ever going to go. We're not good enough to get over that point to the Super Bowl. We got to make some changes. Even though we're winning and we're being successful, we're not getting to the ultimate goal. So we'll see what happens, how they do it this year. Like I said, we all have them winning the division. I haven't heard one sportscaster out there saying that anything different, that the Bills aren't going to win this division. So I was going to be shocked if
it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise division, really. I mean, when you talk about the Bills, but I will say, I this year I am desperately hoping that Josh Allen goes to the next level. It's tough to watch him get to right there and just can't get there. You know what I mean? And it's just, and I know he goes against the Chiefs and whatever, but it's just, it's kind of infuriating because I know he's so good and I'm like, I just want to see him be in the Super Bowl. I just think it would be interesting.
Yeah,
he's so good. And that's the thing is, if we do another season and it's another one of these things, it's like, all right, like, I mean, when is he ever going to do it? Like, is he ever going to get to that point? And I know sometimes it's close games and it's, you deal with ref problems and whatever, but still, it's not really a surprise with this division. It's just, I would really like to see the Bills do something other than just getting knocked out by the Chiefs.
Right. 100%. All right, guys. Well, we were toe for toe on that one. This next one is by far probably the toughest one to pick. The North, man. We got one of the toughest divisions of football. You got the Ravens, the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Browns, and I'm already calling it now. The Bengals will be the most improved football team this season. That's not a bold statement to say. I think they scored 40 points last year and gave up 45 every game. They were 9-8 last season. The Steelers were 10-7. The Ravens were damn good last year, 12-5. They go out and they get Henry, and we kind of wondered how much he had left in the tank and how they were going to use him. And that worked out really well for him until they decided not to use him in a playoff game as much, which was kind of weird at the end. But, that was last season. I think the Ravens, they go out, they add Jair Alexander, which when he's healthy, he's a freaking dog. It's just going to depend on if he's healthy. That's the big thing there. Their defense is going to be good. They always draft well. They had a really good draft this season. And so we'll see how they do. I think that the biggest interesting team in this division is the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right. We have the elephant in the room of Aaron Rodgers. They go and they get Aaron Rodgers. They add DJ
his last season.
Yeah, this will definitely be it for him. They add DK Metcalf. They get rid of a cancer in Pickens, which he was a cancer there. We'll see how he does in Dallas. Their defense is going to be good. I think at this point it really just depends on how you feel about Aaron Rodgers. And a lot of people last year said he was done, he's washed, he's garbage. And he was in a lot of top 10s last year. So, like, his numbers are not as bad when you look at it. Have you watched him play in the Jets and you watch the games? Yeah, it looked pretty bad. But you look at the numbers and you go, hey, he had top 10 passing yards, or he had top 10 this and that. I'm like, I wouldn't say he's done. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to be a little bold here, I give them a wild card spot this season. They're not going to win their division, but I'm going to throw them in a wild card spot. And maybe that's a bold move, but I think Aaron Rodgers will do enough. I think the defense is good enough where Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to go and put it all on his back. He doesn't have to play hero ball. And I think with him, they make a wild card spot. And with their head coach who doesn't have a losing season, I think it bodes well for Pittsburgh. Am I wrong? Am I crazy, guys? Or what do you think? What do you think of my Pittsburgh predictions?
I think you're still bleeding golden green. That's what I think. Forgot that Aaron Rodgers doesn't play for the Packers anymore.
I'm glad he doesn't, but
yeah,
I think he's got one more year.
Not by that statement, you're not. I love Cincinnati. I don't love their front office.
Yes.
Their defense is going to be probably as bad or worse than last year because they drafted a rookie to fix it and then haven't signed him. He's
going back to college, right?
They have one of the best pass rushers in football, and they won't give him money. So if those two guys are not going to be there, I don't see how the defense is going to be any better. I think the offense will be as good and better than it was last year. You got two wide receivers that got their money and they're happy. The quarterback got their money. He's happy. I want everything in me for the Cincinnati Bengals to win this division because I can't stand the Baltimore Ravens, but I don't know if they can score 50 a game to do it because that's what they're going to have to do. They changed the defensive coordinator. I would love to say that you were right that the Bengals will be the most improved football team, but they didn't do anything to fix the biggest hole that they had. And Pittsburgh, I think they struggled to be over 500 and keep his string alive. I just don't. If you watch the games last year, Rodgers looked like he was moving in quicksand. He just wasn't. I don't think that he gets along with the head coach. I don't think that attitude of his attitude goes with the head coach attitude at all. I think those two, before the season's over, they're on the sidelines barking at each other, and I think that's going to be a thing. So yeah, that's just kind of the way I look at it.
What say you, Jeff?
With Cincinnati, it is, I kind of agree with Craig on that one when it comes to the front office. I think that they do have issues. There's so much talent there. Joe Burrow's incredible. He's going to have to go to another level this year for sure. Pittsburgh, Brian.
Yeah.
When it comes to Rodgers, I think Rodgers is. There's been some flashes in preseason that I saw a couple of times of him connecting with was it Metcalf that they have. So I there's some flashes of Rodgers doing really well there. I do worry when it comes to like the offensive line for Pittsburgh. I'm not quite sure how their offensive line is put together. Pittsburgh, I know, always has a pretty decent defense and a good defense. So when it comes to the actual division itself, I can't just stray away from the Ravens. I do think that it's hard to kind of stray away from them just because the Bengals tends to get on and kind of get in their own way every season. They kind of always have to start off slow, at least, and then they pick it up. But they pick it up too late. So by then, it's like the division's pretty much locked up. Like, then they're kind of clawing for a wild card spot or something. So it just seems like that, like, especially last year too, is just like they kind of started picking it up towards the end of the season. So Cleveland is not, I'm not even going to talk about that.
Yeah, we can all agree. The Browns are going to be last.
Shedeur looked like absolute garbage today. But I think it's honestly, if I had to guess and put it up as a toss-up between two teams, I'm going to put it up as a toss-up between, I'd give it to Bengals and Ravens over Pittsburgh. I do think that Rodgers, I don't know, I need to see more, I guess, as odd as that sounds. As great as Rodgers is, and as top 10, you say, in the statistics categories and stuff, I kind of want to see more because I'm not too confident with what I saw with the Jets. So again, you have better defense, should be in games more, should be closer games, but giving it to Baltimore to win. But I could see the Bengals possibly coming out and at least making some buzz there for sure.
Here's and the Browns. And here's why the Browns continue to be the Browns. They named Joe Flacco their starting quarterback. That is the most dumbest move of the offseason. I get it. He may be the best quarterback you got right now, but we know who he is. He's ancient. He's nobody. He's not going to get you where you want to go. You draft two young kids. Now, I'm not Shedeur Sanders, whatever. The whole drama with that. You got to see through the future. Dylan Gabriel out of Oregon, like to name Joe Flacco, it's just ridiculous. They're going to be bad again. I wish Myles Garrett would have stuck to his guns and got the hell out of Cleveland because they're going to be bad. It is mind blowing that Joe Flacco is their starting quarterback, and if I'm the Browns fans, I'm going, what are we doing? Joe Flacco is not going to lead us to where we want to go. We need to see these young guys are going to be the future of our team and give them a shot. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think
it's absolutely ridiculous.
I don't think that anyone in their right mind would have thought that the Browns, and I know it sounds insane, but I just never saw the Browns actually starting Shedeur day one.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I didn't think that was going to happen. I know that there's even fans here of the Buffs and stuff that I've spoken to, and they're like, yeah, I think he's not going to start. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, no. And so, I mean, it's just like, I just don't see it. I see it happening partway through a season. I never thought that they would have gone with some young deal. So the Flacco thing I know may sound crazy, but I kind of wasn't surprised by that because I'm like, it's the Browns. They're going to, do something weird. And obviously, yeah, sure. We're going to throw Joe Flacco out there because it makes sense in a way because he's been doing this for so long. He's a backup. Well, not backup, but he's a starter, but he's been a big player in the league. He knows how to play. I think putting him out there, and if the wheels fall off after 3 games, here comes Shedeur. Like, that's what's going to probably happen, or one of the backups. Shadeur's a big name. It's going to get people talking. They know that. I mean, it in a way, it gets the topic of the Browns in the sports center, category of communication. So it's like, okay, well, sure, we're going to be talking about Shedeur, and that's going to be a thing. So I just think it's not going to work, but it's all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh man, here's Shedeur, and he's going to come down and, spark the team and somehow, even though I don't think that will happen. But
I laugh because they're using 4 roster spots to carry.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you don't, okay, maybe you don't want to throw Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gay. Kenny Pickett. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you could
I'm
do
sorry,
that. You
man.
could do that. Yeah.
This this Joe Flacco thing is a joke. It is. And look, Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, even though it was, his defense was the reason he won and all that good stuff. And I didn't think Joe Flacco was always that good. But you're a franchise that's been crap. You were 3-14 last year. You need to see what these young guys can do and see if you can find a franchise quarterback instead of starting your stopgap quarterback. I just crazy to me. But
on a solid note, the Bengals did finally sign their draft pick. So.
well, that's good. I thought he was going back to college. I'm like, oh wow.
Before Mike.
All right, y'all might think I'm crazy with my predictions, but I'm gonna tell you what. I got the Bengals winning the division. I've got the Steelers in second, and I think the Ravens take a drop off the season. And I got the Browns in last place. My bad. Hold up. My bad. I wrote that down wrong. It's Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, but Steelers still get a wild card spot. I'm not that crazy. Look, I'm a big believer in Joe Flacco. I know the defensive woes. They changed the defensive coordinator. I don't think the defense is as bad as it was last year. I'm not saying they're going to be world beaters. I think they're going to be middle of the pack, 16, 17. I'm a big believer in Joe Flacco. I think they win 11 games this year, 10 games. I think the Ravens have an off year. I think they're going to figure him out. The last year they had Henry. The first year with that, I think a lot of teams are going to figure him out. I'm not sure Henry's, going to stay healthy. Lamar Jackson, they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to come out and do what they did last season. So I have the Bengals. I wrote it down wrong. The Ravens, Steelers, and Browns as my 4. So I just too much belief in Joe Burrow to not put him number 1. He is, and when we did our top 10 quarterback list, I should have put him number 1.
Well, I guess my question is, what has been stopping the Bengals to this point? What has been the problem with the Bengals to this point? Because, of course, last year it was like, what? Well, I guess that's my question is because, how long has Burrow been in the league at this point? I mean,
this is his 5th year.
5th year,
okay. I believe.
And his first, first or second year, he went to
it was his first year. He snapped his leg and missed the rest of the year. Second season with the worst offensive line in the league, most sacked quarterback. He took the team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Then he got hurt. He was hurt a little bit last year. He's this is his 4th or 5th. Last year was his defense. Like I said, they scored 40 points a game, and they got 45.
He had MVP numbers himself.
Oh, his numbers were the best in football.
Right.
Okay.
But then he wasn't considered because they were 8-9. Their defense was
they didn't make the playoffs and they were terrible.
So I just think
can't argue with you.
It's going to be one hell of a year for him. And I just don't see, they say defense doesn't carry over every single year like maybe offense does. So you might have a great defense one year and next year it might fall off a little bit. I think the Bengals were so bad last year. I don't think it's going to be that bad this year. Like not as bad as it was last year. So I'm going to, let's see. Let me look up his stats last year. Joe Burrow had one hell of a year last year. And everyone felt bad for him because they're like, wow, it's a team.
First game, their defense gives up a 40 burger. I'm like, Brian.
Yeah. Craig, where do you have these teams? Oh, Craig went. Oh, there he is. Craig, where do you have these teams 1 through 4?
Same thing as you. I cannot side with Baltimore. I think if you are an NFL team and don't stack the box and make Lamar Jackson beat you, should be fired immediately from a defensive coordinator in the NFL. I understand he put up good numbers. I understand he was, quote unquote, one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. I have no faith in Lamar Jackson. He runs at moment's notice. I think they are going to fall off. I'm just not impressed with Lamar Jackson, and I think Burrow, with having his two weapons signed and no drama in contract talks, those guys are going to ball out. I even like the tight end that they have there that got involved in the end of last year. I think that offense is just going to roll.
Did we say that last year, by the way, that the Ravens were not going to win their division? Okay.
Yeah.
I was curious.
We're caught, and you know why?
I'm sorry, I just can't get on the Lamar Jackson bandwagon.
Exactly. We're not big Lamar guys.
I know you have a jersey, Brian, back there, so stop.
I have been on that train from day one, and years ago when my brother drafted him in fantasy football, I laughed at him all the way to the bank, and he won the MVP, and my brother won the fantasy football league for the first time in his whole life. So Lamar Jackson has haunted me forever, and he probably still will. But I hope on the first game he Achilles tendon rolls up and
cold sweats in the middle of the night.
Jeff, this is how good Joe Burrow was last year. He threw for 4,900 yards, 43 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. If the Bengals have if the Bengals fight for the postseason last year, Joe Burrow's your MVP, hands down.
But it's a team game, so I guess that's the deal. I mean,
Jeff, where do you got him?
Remember that when we get to Dak Prescott.
Oh,
well, I mean, you got to sign your players, so.
Well, he's got a contract. He's just come to work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's screwed for 3 years of this if he doesn't. Yeah. Where do you got him, Jeff?
You have the same. Work tomorrow, I'm not going to be paid, so bring your ass to work.
In terms of the NFC or AFC North.
Yep.
I did the whole it could be this or could be that. So I mean, I got the Ravens at top, but like I said, it could be. I was struggling with Bengals and Ravens and flipping them. So I think I'm just gonna go with Ravens for now, because I'm a little bit worried about the Bengals playing complete games. So. If they start playing complete games, then obviously this team is going to be dangerous, and I think the Ravens are in for a rude awakening. But if we go into week 3 and it's like they're not putting complete games together and they're losing games like that, like they were last year, then it's going to be kind of similar to what happened last year.
And that's, you could look at last year and make that point. Like, that's not a bad point. Hey, if the Bengals, man, their defense is so bad, it could cost them again. So. We shall see. Time will tell, but I'm excited for this season. Now, you have Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns.
Yes.
Okay. This next division's trash. I think the South is the worst division.
For any of the fans here in the AFC South.
Absolute trash. I think Texans. It's just like the Bills division. The Texans are going to win this division. CJ Stroud last year had a little bit of sophomore slump. I like their coach. I like the moves they're making. I like Stroud. Tank Dell can't stop blowing his leg out. Unfortunately for him and in that team, Indy is starting Daniel Jones over Richardson. That's enough said there. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence. They got a new head coach who. The only thing interesting about Jacksonville Jaguars is the whole Travis Hunter spotlight, and is he going to play both sides? How much is he going to get time? I think that's your main talking point for Jacksonville Jaguars this season.
And the new coaching staff too, I think is kind of interesting. So
Liam Cohen from the Raiders.
We'll see.
Should be interesting. You got the Titans who. This one might be interesting because Cam Ward seems to be a leader. I've seen a lot of videos this year about him getting after his team, like yelling at him and we're going to come in practice early. I'm tired of losing. We're going to win. Where he's trying to build a culture change there. I really respect it from a rookie because he is going to be their starter. He is going to be that leader, that your quarterback is your leader. And I like that he's jumped in year one, trying to build a winning culture there. So I'm interested to see there. They get Brian Callahan as their head coach. We'll see where he goes. I hope Cam Ward plays well. But I don't think anybody takes over the Texans. The defense is too good. Michael Stroud's the best quarterback in that division. And, Trevor Lawrence continues to disappoint. So,
I'm intrigued by the Jaguars. I just think that it's interesting, especially the Travis Hunter thing. I kind of want to see some of the games that he's going to be in. So, I think that Cam Ward is intriguing. I just think that it's a fascinating story. I think I remember a couple videos or a video that I saw between him and Shadir. And Shadir was all talking about his music game and blah blah blah, and you were not getting that. He was not getting the same kind of thing that Cam Ward was. Cam Ward was like, I'm all about football. I don't know what you're talking about. So it's just, to me, I think that's fascinating. He's already got a maturity to him, and he hadn't even played a first game yet. So I do think that's fascinating and interesting. But I'm on the Texans. This is the Texans division. I think their defense is put together very well. One of the coaches that I thought I was really looking forward to before the Sean Payton thing happened was getting their head coach. Because the guy that he ended up going to Houston, but he was the 49ers defensive coordinator and he was amazing. So I'm just I think that they're going to put together a decent, amazing defense, and then with CJ Stroud, I think is hands down the better quarterback in this group so far. And again, I'm not no dig at Cam Ward, but I think Stroud has proven himself at this point, at least. So we're just going with that. But I'm excited. There's a couple pieces in there. I'm Travis Hunter piece, Ward piece. I'm very curious to see more out of this division. So it'll be interesting, and there could be some shakeups with the division, especially with Ward and Ward and Stroud. I mean, that might be an interesting dynamic in the division.
Where do you have them at 1 through 4?
I'm gonna go with the Texans 1, obviously. And then I think after that, Colts are at the bottom. I go. It's so weird. I go Tennessee, Jacksonville, Colts.
All right, nice. I like Tennessee there.
Yeah, I had to sit there and look for a second. So I was like, oh, that's right. The Colts are there, and that's right. That But I just think that I'm actually more intrigued with Tennessee. More than any of those other teams outside of the Texans.
What you got to say about the South, Craig?
Well, I mean, the Colts go and name Danny Dimes their starter over Anthony Richardson, and so that'll be fun. Trevor Lawrence, can he stay on the field? Does Travis Hunter stay healthy? He hasn't in the in the preseason. He's missed the last 2 games with some upper body injury. I guess we're in hockey now, and we can't tell us what the injury is. We just got to say it's an upper body injury. So we're not even sure if he's going to play week 1. I think Stroud makes a comeback from his off season last year. Nico Collins is an absolute stud up there. I think the loss of Tank Dell hurts him a little bit, but
do they draft anybody to kind of take that place of an extra wide receiver?
I'd have to go look. I didn't get too far into it, but yeah, Nico Collins is great.
Jaden Higgins, yeah, they did. That's right.
Yeah.
So
Jaden Higgins. That'll help.
I think I have it just like Jeff has it. I just don't think Jacksonville has enough in there. I like what Tennessee has done. Cam Ward, he's looked pretty good coming in. And I think Indianapolis is just in shambles right now.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't feel bad for Indianapolis. I felt bad for a long time with them because their best quarterback after Peyton Manning quit on them. All right. Because he took a beating, I get it. He quit on the team. They've been in shambles ever since. But they reached on Anthony Richardson. We knew it when they took him. He can't stop getting injured. They bring in Danny Dimes to be the backup. He's a starter. And look, maybe Danny Dimes is better when he's not in the spotlight of New York. I don't think so. We'll see. I have the Texans, and I put the Jacksonville Jaguars second, Titans, and Colts. And the only reason I put the Jaguars second is because they've got more experience. More experience with Trevor Lawrence. I think Cam Ward will make some good plays this year and win some games, but he's a rookie. So I do think the Titans could take number 2, but I just got to give the veteran Trevor Lawrence a little bit more respect there and their head coach. So I got Texans, Jags, Titans, Colts, and I think it could go either way at 2 and 3. We would be dumbfounded if I would love to see the Titans win number 1 there. That would be an interesting thing, and to have Cam Ward go out and have one hell of a year. And I hope he does, the kind of player leader that he seems to be. So we'll see, keeping your eyes on him playing this season. So, all right, man, this next division is the division I've been waiting for all day with this division. Look, you got the Chiefs who went 15-2. They made it to the Super Bowl, got blasted by the Philadelphia Eagles last year. We keep wanting to count them out and keep saying that they're not going to have a good year and yada, yada, yada. They're going to be good. The question is how much. How good are they going to be? And they're going to be good. You got Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league, unless you want to put Burrow over him. He's the second best. They've got Andy Reid. They've got a good defense. They've got this. They traded Sky Moore to the 49ers, which was interesting, but they were 15-2 last year. You got the Chargers, who I thought Harbaugh had a great year of coaching for them last season. Justin Herbert played hurt most of the year. They still went 11-6 with that. The Broncos were 10-7. Bo Nix really impressed last year. I really like what he did. They added defensive in the draft. They added a great tight end. They get the running back J.K. Dobbins, if healthy, should be a really good piece for them. And then the Raiders are going to be bad again. They're 4-13. They're going to be better with Geno Smith and Pete Carroll. I just don't think, they added Raheem Mostert as a running back room. They're a young team, but they're going to be better. But I think the question is how much better are they going to be? Are they going to beat out any of those other 3 teams? I don't think so. I got the Raiders last in this division. But I'm interested to see where we're going to rank these teams. Jeff, this is your division. Let's throw away with you. What did the Broncos?
It's exciting.
It is. The Broncos, I thought, had a really good offseason. I thought they made some good picks in the draft. Tell us about the Broncos over the offseason, what you liked, what they did, and what you think they might do this season.
Draft wise, I think they did exactly what people kind of wanted them to do. We had some glaring holes on defense. We saw that in the regular season, particularly against the Browns, oddly enough. And we had Winston just torch us, basically, because as soon as that first quarter ended, we had an injury in defense on the cornerback side. And once that happened, it was just constant attacking that side. And we had no answer to defend against it. We ended up winning that game, but on a few pick sixes. But in terms of, cornerback, we kind of addressed that right off the bat in the first round. outside of that, they got a couple more other pieces to kind of just solidify some holes as well. A couple running back, got a kicker towards the end, which I think so far it's not too bad. So, but yeah, mainly I think it's a lot of off-season stuff with either free agents or re-signing players. We locked up. We basically locked up a couple of players and extensions. Nick Benito got an extension. Surtain got an extension. We brought in Evan Ingram as a tight end. I think he's going to be massive for this team. We did not have any tight ends really. I mean, we had them, but they just weren't good. So I think they addressed the needs they needed to offensively for what we can. I am a little worried about the offensive line. It didn't look great so far in preseason, so we'll see. Defensively, I think we look great. They look like so when the starters have been out there, it's been pretty good. We've held teams to field goals. We've held teams to just single scoring drives. That's it, or just a scoring drive, and that's all that they allowed. So yeah, so far it's been okay. In terms of the offense, I'd like to see more from the offense, but yeah, offense. When it comes to the offseason, they did what they needed to do to kind of solidify stuff. And again, we also did a lot of things with not many picks because we had we lost a bunch, on stuff because of getting Wilson and also getting Sean Payton. So, but yeah, I like what they've done in the offseason, and I hope that it translates a better team this year. And I do think it will. We'll see. But I do like what they did. I do like what they did in the offseason. So
yeah. I'm interested to see where we're going to have these teams. Craig, what do you have to say about this division, the West?
Well, I mean, I thought Bo Nix was going to be the best quarterback in last year's rookie class, and I don't think I was wrong. He came in. I think he got an absolute perfect match for a head coach. I think that helped tremendously in his build. They played really well. And gave the Chiefs a run for their money. I think they do the same thing again this year. I think it's a very close division. I don't think anybody runs away and hides. In my opinion, the Chargers have done some stuff, but I think it's really a two-team race for the division in Denver and Kansas City, because I just don't think the Chargers have enough. Maybe, I mean, with the two running backs and Herbert, and I mean, you got McConkey over there who had a really good rookie year, but seems to be when pressure situations come on, the Chargers do Charger things and never can finish the deal. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I'm a little worried about their O-line with the injury that they received. That is going to be, I mean, Herbert was kind of running for his life last year, and I think it's going to be pretty bad on that end of it, at least on that side of the offensive line.
Yeah, I don't think you can count him out. You know, Herbert's a frustrating one too, because he has all the talent in the world, can make every throw, but he doesn't. In the big games, he tends to be a shell of himself. I thought Harbaugh had a great year last year head coaching. I don't think you can count him out, but I don't think they're going to beat the Broncos or Chiefs for this division now. I have this division as follows: Raiders at the bottom, Chargers at third. I got Kansas City number 2, and I got the Broncos winning the division. I really like Bo Nix. They were almost second place. They were one game out of second last year with a rookie quarterback. The head coach, they pair well together. You added some defensive pieces in the offseason. You go out and extend Bonito, he's been an absolute beast last year. I was watching some games going, who the hell is this guy? He's all over the place. I really like Bo Nix. I think he gets better this next season. And I think you win your division. And I think the Chiefs are second place. They get a wild card. They still make the playoffs. But this division might be the funnest division to watch play each other. With those three teams, those divisional games are going to be very important with this one. It's going to be insanely good to watch.
Yeah.
Insanely good to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Jeff, where do you have them listed here?
So one of the things that I will say is that what the Broncos did do was they have a lot of depth, and I didn't realize how much until I watched the preseason games. And then when I saw the preseason games, I'm like, okay, the first string defense is shutting this team down. Oh wait, the third string defense is also shutting this team down. So it's like there's a lot of depth. There's got Q Robinson, who's like, he's not even a starter, and he's already doing strip sacks and just, it's very fascinating to see the one thing that was a problem last year, depth. Now we kind of addressed a lot of these things. It's the second year, well, technically third year under Sean Payton, but it's his second year of going out and getting free agents, going and being a part of the draft, all that kind of stuff. And I'm very interested to see what happens with the division. But I will say Raiders last. It's just bad. When you see, I'm not going to say that the Raiders aren't going to be, it's going to be a cakewalk. Every time we play them, it's always close. And it's with any of these division teams, it's always close. So we play each other twice a year. We've done this so many times. The Broncos have seen Patrick Mahomes a million times. I think over the course of the years, what I've noticed about this division is playing against the Chiefs in particular is that we get closer and closer and closer and closer to beating him. So it's like, okay, I understand. Like now the games are within margin of error. And even last year,
a blocked
field goal. That's what ended it. Now, again, how many times you see that? Not very many. Like it was a weird play.
It's all right.
A bad setup, but whatever.
Packers beat the Bears with a blocked field goal.
So I got Raiders last. I'm going with Chargers third or in the third spot, mainly because I do worry about that O-line. That is kind of a problem. Herbert has had that's been a problem. I don't know why, but even last year, I think it might have been a bit of an issue. So now that you have one of the main staples on the O-line out, that's not great. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of combat that. But I do have them the third. I'm gonna go ahead and sit here and say that. Gosh, it sounds such like a homer, but it's like I will say I'm gonna do the Chiefs second on this one. Mainly because I do think out of the battle for the division, it's going to come down to the two games with the Broncos and the Chiefs. That's what's going to be.
Homer pick, Jeff. What a homer pick!
And the only reason I say that is because we managed to get within reason in Kansas City. That blocked field goal happened in Kansas City, which means our defense held them down in their home. So I don't think that the Broncos are scared to play in Kansas City. I don't think they're scared to play against Mahomes. I think that this is finally the year that we kind of see a bit of a rude awakening in the division. And I will say, based off of what we've done, the depth we've had, the defense that we put together, adding new pieces to the defense that are going to help, adding new pieces to the offense that are going to help Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix also steps up this year more. I think under Sean Payton, under second year, I think Bo Nix is going to has learned so much. And I sat there and I watched a video of his off-season regimen, and it's insane. The guy is ridiculous. Like, he's so focused. He's sitting there running track at 100 and something degree weather in Florida, sweating. Just, not Florida, but Georgia, I think. But he's just, he's constantly working out, constantly working on his game, working on his throws, working on it. And that's by himself on his own. And one of the other weird things that I found out was like when we first got Sean Payton, this is why I think the coach will play a factor in this as well. When we first got him, one of the problems that were happening was people were complaining in practice. They were like, we don't like this guy. He's just constantly, he's working us to death, blah, blah, blah. Now, once we've weeded out some of the issues, now the players enjoy a coach like that. They're actually praising him for that, and they're playing better because of it. I just think that this team has got a chip on its shoulder. We've been beaten and battered and bruised by the Chiefs for years, and I think it's going to be this year is going to be finally time where the Broncos are like, you know what, enough's enough. We're tired of it. It's been 10 years of this. So I'm tired of it. The fans are tired of it. And I know those players are sick of hearing it. So this is going to be the year. I think Broncos take 1, Chiefs take 2. Again, that's the tiebreaker. It's the tiebreaker to me. And I think the Broncos sweep them, close games, but sweep them. And then that's what flips the script on that.
Thanks for joining the show, M2 Wild Ones, Chiefs fan. So it should be interesting. Craig, where do you got it? Where do you got it, bud?
I mean, I like what Denver did. I like the holes they filled. I like Bo Nix. I like everything about it. And then I remembered that Patrick Mahomes still is the quarterback in Kansas City. And every time that I've ever said, hey, I don't think he'll get it done, we've had to hop in the apology bus and drive it right through Kansas City. And so until he doesn't get it done, I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning and Denver second, the Chargers third, and the Raiders bringing up the back end of that division.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, this is the year. And you look at last season, they were 15-2, but they won a lot of lucky games. The block field goal here, the Raiders didn't. The Raiders fumble snap, and it's like, oh my goodness, So yeah, I think this is the last year that if I predicted the Chiefs not to do that good and they do it, I'm like, all right, Chiefs number 1 from here on out because I've counted them out too many times.
They have a good defense. I'm not going to sit there and deny that the team isn't good. I'm saying that when the games matter, when we play them multiple times a year like this, when we're playing our division twice, 2 games each team, and you start chalking those up. The 2 games that I guarantee you the Denver Broncos are constantly Sean Payton has circled a million times. Those players have circled a million times are those Kansas City games. That's the ones that they're wanting badly to make a statement. And I just think that it's going to be those to give that team that chip and have people constantly, and you still have it. And I get it. Patrick Mahomes has done well, and Kelsey is Kelsey, and the defense is really good, and it was good last year. It was one of the reasons why I think the last couple of years, actually, the Kansas City was even in games at all.
The defense, It wasn't Patrick Mahomes.
It wasn't. It wasn't. And so I'm like, okay, like, we'll see what happens. But I'm telling you right now, like, there has been so many. There's people that are on the Broncos. It's weird. It's like this 50-50 thing. You have 50% of these sportscasters are all on Denver, and then you have the other 50 that are just nothing but Mahomes. So it's just going to be a fascinating division, but it is up between both of them for sure.
He wants M2 Wild Ones wants us to keep the hate on the Kansas City Chiefs. So,
hey,
they're the new, Wild Ones. There's just the new Patriots. They win every year. Yeah, get tired of seeing it. First we were all for it. Someone take down Brady. Come on, Patrick Mahomes. Let's take down Tom Brady. And now it's like, all right, can we stop winning every freaking year? They're just too damn good. That's just the problem. But
I will say I am very interested if there are teams that have either figured them out or there are weird games where the Chiefs just nothing works. I don't know. You take a look at the Super Bowl, they got completely demolished in that game.
Yeah.
Right. And then you even go back and you look at, some of the games even in the year, and it's like, I do some of the, there's moments where you're like, okay, these games are close, but goodness sakes, like, are they figuring out Mahomes, or are they figuring out this offense, or what? The defense is good, but I mean, again, there's moments like that, especially, like the Broncos. It's like, obviously maybe we play them more, but it's like, to me, I was kind of shocked of how bad that Super Bowl game was for them. That was interesting to me. And I'm not sitting there saying that. I'm just like, it's fascinating. It for on that type of stage, they've been there before, and you just got murdered on there.
I wonder, maybe some teams have figured them out, but I also wonder this, because they've been so good for so long, is it hard for them to get up for a regular season game? Because they're like, we know we're going to be in the playoffs. We know we're going to, it's like they flip a switch during playoffs. But that's a dangerous way to play. I'm surprised. I
doubt.
I didn't want them to win last year, the Super Bowl, and they didn't. I did not think the Eagles were going to blow them out the way they did.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But it was just their year. So I'm interested to see how we rank the NFC next week. I'm interested to see about the East. I'm interested to see about the North. So we'll see. That'll be interesting to get into the Cowboys and the Packers divisions and everything else. But next Saturday I will be out of town, but I'm going to do a show on the road at my brother-in-law's house. Will be on Saturday night, guys. So I want to thank you for jumping in on the YouTube. Facebook would not allow me to change that, Jeff. So we weren't live we were live, but only where I could see it, which is stupid.
Up there, so it's not that big of a deal.
So we're trying to get away from Facebook anyways, but we got some new visitors. Hopefully you stick with the show, guys. We're just getting kicked off. Next week we'll do a Saturday episode, and then the week after that, we usually throw an episode out during the week, and then we go live on Friday nights at 8 p.m.
If
Central Time.
Can like the videos, there's I see there's 4 people in here. I don't know if they're on YouTube or not, but if you are, please do. It helps.
Y'all doing anything next weekend for Memorial Day, or?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Craig, you got anything going on?
Work.
No.
Selling events.
Anything after that?
Days off. Yeah.
We're going out there. I'm supposed to be on call, but I'm like, you know what? I'm still going out to East Texas, and we're going to smoke some meat and hang out with the family. And that's about it. But I'm excited to start the show, guys, with you guys again, and excited for football season as we get into NFL and college football. So,
yeah, it's going to be interesting and fun. And when you say college football started today or this?
Yeah, it started today.
Today, okay.
No, it's like a bunch of small little bitty games.
Yeah, I know that first week is like cupcake games.
So, but I think Craig, the real games start next week. The big dogs.
And then September 4th is obviously that Thursday night is Dallas and Philadelphia, which kicks off.
I'm trying to go to the Cosm to watch that game, Craig. The Cosm, Jeff, is. I need to send you a picture of it. It's in Dallas, and what it is it's a screen so big and immersive that you feel like you're at the stadium. It's insanely. I've had friends go there, and they're like, "It's amazing, dude. It's amazing." So you look up the Cosm in Dallas. And look up pictures of what the screen looks like. It looks like you're there. I'm like, that's insane. So I got a buddy that wants to go. He wanted to go for the Cowboys-Packers game because we're both Packers fans, but my wife wants to watch the game with me, so I said, let's go for the Cowboys-Eagles. Let's do opening night. So I'm going to try to do that, but we'll see. But All right, guys. Well, that's the episode today. We gave you our predictions of the AFC standings next Saturday at 7 p.m. We will do the NFC, and then we'll get back into regular scheduled program here on the Sportscast. God bless, and remember,
keep it outspoken.
It won't let me push the stop button. Can anybody else push the stop button?